Hello beautiful souls, welcome to my channel. In today's video we're doing a pick a card reading on the next chapter of your love life. I am super excited about these videos. I don't do actually many love readings, so I'm excited to see how you feel into this reading, if it resonates, if it speaks to you, and if it was helpful at the end of the day. So I'm really excited about this one. If you're new to pick a card reading, please keep in mind this is a general reading, so you always want to use your intuition and not just receive the reading in a passive way, and always just take with you what resonates. And if you're in doubt, always check in with your intuition, your higher self, your spiritual team, and leave out the rest, because possibly not everything will resonate, and that's entirely okay. So to choose a different pile, you can choose, we have 3 piles today, and you can either choose by the number of piles or by the crystal associated with it. So for pile number 1, we have this piece of crystal aura quartz. For pile number 2, we have this piece of pink quartz. It's on like a small heart shape pink quartz. And for pile 3, we have this piece of Aventurine. Perfect. So if you need more time, you're welcome to pause the video in order to choose the pile that you feel the most drawn to. And once you're ready, you can scroll in the description box to the timestamp of your pile of choosing. And I'm looking forward to see you there. Bye! Hello pile 1, if you chose this piece of crystal or quartz, then this is your reading on the next chapter of your love life. Very excited for this reading. So I already picked actually quite a few cards and a bunch of clarifiers. So I'm not quite sure how we're gonna fit it in screen, but I'm gonna do my best and see what is gonna, it might be a little bit chaotic by the end, you know, with the amount of cards, but at least we're gonna go through it one by one, so there will be not too much confusion while it's happening. So hopefully it's gonna be okay. So we have the first card. I'll tell you in a second what it represents. Actually gonna put it in the middle. The clarifier and another clarifier, because why not? Okay, so here we have really like the current situation of where you are within your love life at the moment. And we have the 5 of Swords, the Libra card, and Wheel of Fortune. So what this tells me, like, of course there will be a difference between for who is in a relationship and for who is currently single. So I'm gonna speak about both. But for who is currently single, what I feel with the 5 of Swords, there is an element of having been in a survival mode. So I'm gonna show you from close up this picture. So you can see it's like there is the sort of the nest that is broken up, and then there is all the swords around it. And I feel like within the love aspect, there's been an element of feeling the need of protecting your heart and protecting yourself, and being this survival mode of try to cope on your own, maybe looking for a person at the same time, but equally internally not being fully open for a relationship. So that kind of contrast of like, I would like a relationship, at the same time your mind is really guarded, and something within you and your system is really guarded towards people, and there is a lot of sense of stay on guard, so not really having allowed many people within your intimate life or within your inner circle. So having kind of like kind of being more in survival mode and stepping sort of like, I don't want to say in an eremit mode, but like stepping a little bit away from the masses, so from really putting yourself too much out there when it comes down to love, or maybe consciously saying, yes, I'm open and ready, but like in speaking in real terms and in taking action, not really going out to look for a partner, or not really taking too much actions to really meeting a person. Additionally, we have as a clarifier as well the Wheel of Fortune. And I feel like, again, I'm in this case, I'm still talking about who is still single. I feel like this is a really incredible good omen that your luck is about to change. And there is something that there might be some unexpected events, or a person that you're going to meet, they're going to shift this balance within you and how you've been approaching love. So we already have a very positive sign. And as well with Libra, I feel like you've been trying internally to compromise and harmonize yourself up to this point. But yeah, there is this level of not really fully trusting the possible partners that come around for you, or not really kind of even seeing the real options here or there, maybe focusing on the wrong type of people, or not really focusing on the possible partner that are available fully, because there is something within you that is not fully available emotionally and mentally to be in a relationship. While for who I feel like is already in a relationship, I feel that has been within the current state of the relationship, there is an element of a bit of a conflict. There is moments of harmony and moments of where it's needed a compromise, and it's just kind of like a 50-50 sort of like situation where sometimes it's okay, it's good, but there is also at the same time an element of feeling alone within relationship, because this constant need of having to compromise and maybe not having the same values or interests or like wants or needs. So a bit of an imbalance there. But equally for you, because of the Wheel of Fortune, something is gonna change really soon in a positive way within this dynamic. So this is like a very, very positive sign of something that is gonna shift pretty soon. Pretty soon. So I'm gonna start already to move the cards on the side so we can make space for the other cards. Okay. So now we have the next set of cards. We have the Three of Wands. We have the Seven of Wands. And then in this other pile, we have Patience with Moon Cycles. So these cards really represent sort of the past influences, or how past, whether it's life influences or like past relationship affected your life. And I can see with this set of cards that there are like multiple layers here. So there is an element of you like trying to make plans for the future, just kind of being in this planning mode, and maybe your partner or the people that you had next to you weren't so much in the same wavelength as you, so you had to have a lot of patience because of these different possibly also phases in life where you were at with the partner that you had at the time, or maybe even multiple partners, but having this sense of like being on a different page and trying to go towards something that in a sense you feel like, is this only me going towards that, or you know, is that both of us? So a lot of patience was needed in the past. And also equally, because of the difference of maybe wants and needs or future visions, let's say, there was a sense of like having to become good, at least learning to put boundaries, because there was a sense of having to defend, to stand your ground and having to defend your own, again, needs or what you wanted out of the relationship, or like even like sort of like the next step that you were hoping for, like there was an element of yeah, I've been to, it wasn't something that wasn't necessarily harmonious within the past. So this is the element of like patience and having to set constant boundaries and having these differences between sort of mismatch of either plans or vision of the future or different needs that kind of produce different steps that one want to take for the future. And this could have been subtle in some cases, and in some, for some of you, might have been quite actually something that caused quite a lot of stress within yourself on an emotional level, or also on a mental level. And that might be also part of the reason why we were looking at the cards. I was going to show you again of these cards before, why you've been kind of like so guarded, or there is this element of like being in the survival mode, because there is a there's been a little bit of a lack of nourishment in this sense, and a lack of full harmony instead of just compromising all the time. Okay, so then we have a next set of cards, and we have sort of like what you desire, like sort of your deepest desire within love. We have the Six of Jars, which is the Six of Cups. Then we have the Three of Cups. Oh, I love that. Okay. And then we have belonging, togetherness, welcoming. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna start to put cards on top on cards, because otherwise there is no space for everything. So regarding like what, you know, like what you desire, your deepest desires within love, I feel like number one, there is a sense of like, because, well, they're like the sense of connectedness, of like connection, something that feels like, it could be like a familiar, something that sorry, something that feels like very much together. You're in this together. You're like moving forward together. You have plans together, like as a unit. And there is an element of yeah, maybe like desiring like a family, like we have children in two of the depiction. So maybe in your case as well, like wanting kids is like right now like a big desire. At the stage in life where you are right now, even independently of the age that you are, whether you, this is valid whether you're single or in a relationship, and as well like a sense of like for your partner to be your friend, you know, to be somebody that is truly supportive, that you can celebrate your wins with, somebody that is like, I want to say somebody that is on your team, that you like, you feel like a real team, you're part of a team with this person, with your partner, so with the person that you love, and where you can share like all the joys, you can share the creativity, you can share all the good times, you can do things together, and just this sense of being, if you want to call it a team, you can call it a family, a team, whatever word resonates the most, but this sense of being together and connected within the partnership, within the relationship, and within life, really. So that is, I don't want to say necessarily your support system, but you know, somebody in which you rely like heavily, at least on an emotional level. So yeah, this is like sort of like the desire, the deepest desire within love. And then we have like what you need within the relationship to feel fulfilled. And we have the King of Pentacles. Cool. We have the Hangman. And then this deck of cards, we have Leave a Legacy. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have I knew I was gonna have the problem with where to put the cards. Sorry about the mess with all the cards. I'm gonna move some of them. Okay. So with what do you feel like you need within a relationship? What it comes to me when I look at these cards with the King of Pentacles and Hangman and Leave a Legacy. Maybe there is an element of wanting or needing your partner to be your supporter, somebody that grounds you, somebody that gives you not just emotional support, but maybe as well economical support that kind of like sustains you economically, but also somebody that kind of takes charge of things, at least on some aspects, where you can completely let go and surrender. And in a, what it comes as well, like the phrase that it comes as well, sort of giving up, I don't want to say decisions, but giving up these I need to make a decision for this and that, I'll let my partner do it. So this sort of giving up control, but as well like within that, like somebody that in a sense takes care of you and with whom you can leave a legacy. So that's what somehow is also connected with what we were looking about it before from the desires, where there is this element of like, it can be leaving a legacy in terms of like leaving children that kind of bring on your family line, but as well like maybe having a business together where it's like you do something together and you're this team where you kind of leave a mark together. It's not just you leaving a mark in what you want to create, but it's like the both of you leaving a mark together. So this sense of like as well this person taking more charge, you know, and you surrendering more and letting go more, so that there is in a sense less things that you have to take care, think about, like maybe even practical things. So you're like, you know, my partner does that, I don't have to worry about this. And yeah, leave a legacy as well. It feels like having maybe a project together, like a baby can be a physical baby, but as well like it can be like again a project or something like a work project that you kind of like do together or nurture together. So it's like your legacy in as well on a work front or like an impact. Then we have sort of like the obstacle and challenges and the blocks in the path of you know, your love life. We have the Seven of Jars, which is the Seven of Cups. And then we have the Nine of Wands. And then we have, of this card, we have a hole in the soul. Interesting. So what it comes to me when I look at this is, okay, there are like various elements. There is a part of it that as a sort of like obstacle or challenge or as a block. And I feel like some of this is actually all of them. They feel very much internal within yourself. And there is an aspect of maybe you being kind of like, I don't want to say lost in your imagination, but there is a lot of it that is kind of like you daydreaming about, you know, like what life with a partner can be, or just daydreaming about like having a lack of practicality that comes down, whether it is within the relationship or as well within your life outside. But there is this element of like being more in the dream thinking fantasy part instead of like the here and now and the reality, what that is in there. And there is also an element of being a little bit burned out, a little bit tired of all the past, of like you feeling like maybe with past partners your needs were not met. You were like what we were saying before, like there were different visions of the future. So there was a lot of compromising that came from your side, and there is a sense of like, could be like also both emotionally and mentally, a sense of being a bit burned out from that. And so it comes this sense of like getting really tired really fast when a sort of dynamic come into place, and equally not being able to kind of like, because of this sense of tiredness, is like the putting boundaries becomes like harder when somebody is not on the same wavelength as you, because it's like you've been there already. You're like, oh, you know, this should be done. You know, I've been there before already. Like there is a tiredness even within putting boundary for your own self, for your own need. And as well with All in the Soul, what I can see is like this card speaks about wounding that come from a family line, from traumas that we sort of like receive, and they're passed on from our parents, our ancestors. And there is an element of this wounding that it is blocking or kind of like slowing down this path for love for you, because there is an element of this that has to be healed in order to have this more harmonious relationship, or maybe even to manifest like a relationship or a partner that is more harmonious and is more in line with what you look for and you desire and you need. So there are like these three different elements with that. Then we have sort of like the imminent future, or like what is gonna come in the imminent future within your love life. And we have the Eight of Jars, which is the Eight of Cups. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles. And we have Metamorphosis. Beautiful. So what it feels like it is coming for you in the near future. So there are like different aspects, of course. If you're like single, if you're in a relationship, I'm gonna go first with the people that are still single. I feel like if you're still single, there is an element of you walking away from your wounding. You're walking away from these patterns that you had of like having this expectation, finding partners where those expectations were not met, or that you were at very different stages in your life. So like you realizing that there is something that you have to invest within yourself. There is an element of kind of like acknowledging that you want to kind of like harvest out of your own profit, your own planning, and not like kind of like necessarily waiting for a person to take control of the practical aspect of your life. Is like you wanted to in a sense is like taking charge of that yourself. And especially with Metamorphosis, and you can see it as well from this picture, is like you entering your own cocoon of transformation, where you realize it's like you want to work on healing the part of like the blockages that we were talking about before, because that's the only way on how you can manifest the right partner, the partner that is going to meet your need, that is going to meet your expectations, and is going to meet your desires, and is not going to be this conflict where there is difference of like visions for the future, because you feel like there is an element of you that kind of like has a deep craving on an emotional level of the things that you would like and need, and you really would like that to be met. And you realize there is something that you need to shift within your own approach within yourself, so that once you kind of create this stability internally and your own inner transformation, becoming like persevere. There is an element of persevering and working on yourself, and really walking away from patterns and habits that are like not serving you for the type of person that you want to manifest in your life, and for the type of relationship that you want to manifest in your life. Sorry for my cough. And I feel for the people that are in a relationship, that there can be an element of, I feel like there are two different paths here. Like some people might walk away from the relationship they're currently in for just what I said is valid, like for working more in yourself, because the person that you've been with hasn't really met your needs, and there is a part of it that is like, okay, I need to actually find a person that does match what I need, and then therefore you started to work more on yourself. Or there is an element of as well, it could be depending how in harmony or how much compromise you have within your current relationship. There is an element of being able just to walk away from the unhealthy patterns and finding a way where you still get to work on yourself within the relationship, shifting the relationship within where you do put more focus on yourself, on working on yourself and your own transformation, your own metamorphosis, and therefore like improving the relationship because of the changes that you make within, and also walking away from certain patterns that you had within the relationship. So you will really need to tap into your own feelings of like how, like, and with honesty, of course, of like how truly is the relationship that the dynamic with the relationship that the dynamic of with the person that you are right now in the relationship that you have, how healthy or unhealthy, how much can it shift if you put the work in, or how much is like actually is too far gone and it's time to kind of like sort of walk away from the relationship. And then we have the last cards, which are like the sort of the long-term outcome or the potential long-term outcome for the current partner pattern that you have within the love life. Oh, I love this. We have the King of Swords. Very nice. We have the Eight of Swords. Okay. And then we have the Rose Thread. Inner call, soul-led, and mystic, living courageously. Oh, I'm getting so many different messages here. So, oh, I'm so happy for you guys. So I feel like I'm getting goosebumps now. I like it. So I feel for my lovelies, group number 1, they're single. I feel like there is a person, you know, like at the beginning we were talking about the our beautiful Wheel of Fortune card, where it's like something is about to shift and possibly you're gonna meet somebody soon, and there is a person here that has the traits that you're looking for. Like it's in terms of personality, this person is somebody authoritative, yes, but somebody is like very much in charge of his or her own life, their own life, and they're really like on a quest for truth. There is an element of like somebody really devoted to truth, somebody really disciplined, somebody you can rely on, somebody loyal, and like really like a good, healthy characteristic of what you were looking for, like the healthy prototype of person that is going to show up in your life. And it will help you once you kind of do the work within yourself that we were talking about before. Meeting this person and be with this person, it will help you to really kind of let go all the mental prison that you put yourself into, and all this kind of like sort of victim mentality, if there was any, or like this mental negative patterns that you've been dealing with. This person will help you be not necessarily that person will help you, but being with this person will help you to work through them and just releasing them step by step. And equally, because it's like the inner work that you've been doing on yourself, there is an element of you really living your purpose more. So it feels like these two elements are connected, meaning you stepping more into your power, stepping more into your inner calling will allow you to meet this person, and for this person to recognize that it's you that they want to be with, because that type of person is going to show up in your life is somebody that many people want. Is somebody that is in a place of like, I want to say authority, but like a lot of people have admiration for a person like this. So you stepping into your own power and your own light and your own mission and being on it kind of allows them as well to see and recognize, I want to be with that person, because then your energy will match. And looking at the beginning, there might be in terms of like this person might have some important Libra placements, or might have as well like a hair sign, could be, but there is an element of like, yes, manifesting this really good partner. And for who is not single and they will stay in the relationship that they are in, there is the potential for the partner that they're in, with the inner work that you'll be doing, for this person to step up to like the type of person that you wanted, or like to their next level, so that they can be a better partner for you as well. And the relations dynamic will completely change, where again is like your own negative pattern and thoughts will then slowly fade, and you will start to step in more into your own inner calling and your own path. So either ways is a very positive positive cards. I'm really excited. So I'm gonna just quickly pick, sometimes we don't get like clear dates, but I'm gonna pick like a card to see sort of the time frame, if there is a time frame in which you're gonna possibly like meet this person or get together with this person. So I'm gonna ask first, so like for who is single, like when ideally or potentially you will meet this person. I feel like this card is calling. Let's see what we say. Here is, oh my god, this, I'm getting goosebumps. This is so soon. We have 1 week / 1 month. I'm getting super goosebumps right now, because also at the beginning what we saw is like the Wheel of Fortune is a change that happens quite fast. Is an immediate surprise that happens in a short amount of time. So this in a sense reconfirms the time frame, where it's like, I'm getting goosebumps, it's gonna happen quite soon, at least meeting them. So very nice. Of course it will vary from each one of you, from when you meet the person to when you get together, like the process that there is within, because there is a lot of inner process from your own side that is important that happens, and also for that person to recognize, yes, you know, like this person is who I want to be with, because you have your own inner journey to go through. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be together with this person in a week and a month, but that at least you're gonna meet them within a week and a month, and then something is already gonna shift, where this, with this Wheel of Fortune, something will shift, and then maybe will even support you more in your inner process, and and then eventually we'll get to a place where you guys will get together, and this is gonna be a long-term partner. I'm getting goosebumps. And of course, for who is already in a relationship, maybe might take about a week and a month for the shift of the person, while you work in yourself to kind of start to show within the relationship in a dynamic, which is like, I have to say 1 week or even 1 month is very short, especially if you're like being in a relationship for a while. So it's extremely positive in both cases. Yay! I hope this reading resonated. You're very welcome to let me know. I'm really sorry about the messiness of the cards. There were too many. Just had to fit them in. So yes, let me know if you resonated. You can write it down in the comment box. And if you'd like to support me, please subscribe to my channel, as well as liking the video. And I'm hoping to see you in my next one. Bye guys. Hello pile 2. If you chose this piece of pink crystal quartz, then this is your reading on the next chapter of your love life. Very excited. Yay. So for this reading I picked so many cards, so it's gonna look a little bit messy, the layout, because there are too many cards and they don't all fit on the screen. So it might be visually chaotic, but hopefully will not be chaotic in terms of the reading. So let's hope for that. So we're gonna begin with sort of the current situation, or where you are like right now in your love life at the present moment. We have the Two of Jars. Wow, this is like the Two of Cups. We're starting good. Wow, we have the King of Cups. We're starting really good. And then we have Pluto. Revelation, transformation, death, and rebirth, liberation. Wow, I'm getting like very different messages. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of talk about for who is single and who is in a relationship. I feel like many of you are already in these cards that made me feel like you already are in a solid, very solid relationship. Some of you might already actually be married or have been together for a very long time, and like you're with a person that is very like mature, emotionally balanced, that is like supportive, is like really there for you. Like you're with a person that is really a good fit for you, and is like, I mean, everybody has need to work on themselves, but there is an element of this person being a really, really good match, and themselves already having a lot of emotional maturity, and having a lot of emotional intelligence, which is not a given. If you're single, I feel like some of you might be in partnership, maybe like on the work side, but like you kind of have a person you're very connected with, and maybe you've been with them. Like this rebirth card, it gives me like this sense of like past lives. Maybe it was like a soulmate or a person that you've been with in previous lives, and in this life is not romantic. But there is a person in your life that, even if it's not romantic and you're single, there is a person that, whether you work with them, you're in a work partnership, or they're just long-term friend, somebody has always been there for you and is very supportive, that even though you're like single, you feel like you're always emotionally supported by this, I don't know if you want to call it soulmate, twin flame, whatever name you want to give it. But emotionally, this person really covers a lot of the important bases and important parts for you. And it doesn't, even though you might be single, you don't really feel that alone, because emotionally you are, you have this fulfillment from this partner, friend. I don't get a sense that it's a family member, but maybe for some of you is also a family member that in the past life you were linked in a different way. But it's somebody you're maybe okay, it could be like a sibling that you're extremely close to, like have a quite a, I don't want to say symbiotic but relationship, but something that is very, very connected, and you're very, very emotionally bonded, and that bond comes from sort of a previous lifetime. So like this person allows you not to feel like emotionally like too lonely or too sad, because you always have the sort of the shoulder to cry on type of thing, and they always give you emotional support whenever you need it. So in the next cards, we're gonna see the past influences, or how the past influences of influence your life. Wow, we have the Four of Wands. Sorry, this cough is not gonna stop. And then Three of Pentacles. Wow, this is all very positive. I'm loving this. You guys, good karma. And then we have forgiveness. Okay, this is where already I need to kind of start to see how I'm gonna place these cards. Okay. So with the past influences, what it comes through is that even though maybe you had your fair share of like trials in life, you always kind of like had a very positive outlook, and you always took in general, I feel like you have a very positive outlook in life. whether in love life or in work, like in the general aspect. And every time there was something challenging, you took it as an opportunity to learn, to grow, to work on yourself, to expand, to to maybe even share afterwards what you learn and how you healed and how you grow. But you always had a very positive outlook, and I feel like even for the negative things that happen, you had a lot of forgiveness for what happened, for the person that happened with. There is a lot of, when it comes to you, group number 2, I feel like a lot of lightness. There is not so much density. There is not this element of like holding a grudge or like carrying this long, like this really negative feeling within yourself. You're just quite a very positive person. And this reflects as well with this person that you have in your life, whether it's like a romantic partner or like emotional companion that we were talking about before. That is like it's a reflection of like sort of your good karma or like the beautiful energy that you bring with, because you'll never be alone, you know. In this case, I'm getting like some nice, like a warm hug. You're a very liked person, and like a person that people really enjoy spend time with, and you're just very warm, and you always bring the smile on people's faces, and you're just a very positive, beautiful and positive person. And that reflects as well in how you read and how you perceive to the past events that happened to you, and how almost you rewrote whatever negative aspect was for an element of learning and growth. So that's beautiful. Then we have sort of like your desires, your deeper desires when it comes down to love. We have the hangman. Here is like hanged one. And then we have the Knight of Swords. And then we have Sunset with cycle ending. Interesting. I'm getting very different messages here. So I feel like for some of you, there is an element of really desiring this, having like a person that supports you in shifting your perspective, because you're such a like as I was saying before, like somebody that has such a positive outlook. You're always like looking for like the learning point of view, or like the angle that is like, what is the best, you know, how can I use this as an opportunity? So you really desire a person next to you that supports you in doing that, because it's something that you really value, and that is able to give you like a different perspective when you maybe are feeling like, oh, I'm not sure about this. Somebody like that inspires you with new perspectives that you maybe didn't think of, and somebody as well that supports you in going where you want to go faster. So like, I don't want to say that you're looking for like you desire a guru, but you do desire a person that is gonna give you some almost like, I want to say, sort of guidance that is gonna help in the specific parts, you know, like even with the cycle of ending, like somebody that also supports you in ending, in fully like bringing to a full closure things, because maybe by being so positive you have this difficulty in closing down things, you know. It's easier maybe to leave them open and just so that everybody's happy instead of saying no. But somebody that helps you to maybe sometimes be more firm, or like to acknowledge when something has ended, whether it's like friendship or a work contract, that kind of supports you to say, okay, you know what, you've done everything you could, you did well, you know, you learned in the process, now this came to an end, and it's okay to kind of like close the chapter and let the person know. So somebody that supports you in this, and it gives you more support in this. I actually quite love that. Then we have the next set of cards is like what you sort of like need. So the previous one that we just talked about is like what you desire, and now it's like what you need in a relationship to feel fulfilled. We have strength, love that. Oh, we have the Page of Cups. And then we have connect with nature. My home is in nature. Getting some nice messages already. Oh, this is so lovely. I really like you, Pile, too. I feel like you have such a great vibe. You're the type of person I feel like I would be great friends with. I love it. So I feel like within what you need in a relationship to feel fulfilled is like, number one, be strong with yourself, you know, having that like clarity on your needs or what you want, what you don't want. Having that sense of strength within yourself, but also somebody that sort of cherish and supports that. Somebody that doesn't take your power away, somebody that doesn't make you feel smaller, somebody that sees your qualities and your skills and your strengths and your beauty, and not just appreciate them but just lift you up for that, you know, like it's like somebody that really like cherish you in the aspects that even maybe the ones that you don't necessarily like think, oh, there is not much to kind of like cherish me in there, but actually somebody that is able to see the strengths that you have that you maybe not even aware of, and just is able to share to cherish it, and just to kind of like, oh, you know, like appreciate you for this, and just kind of, oh, I really like this about you and you did a great job with that. So somebody really kind of like also vocalize that. And as well, like it feels like what you need is within a relationship is somebody that you can in a sense dream with, you know, a person that you can really be your fully like your inner child, that you feel safe enough to be your inner child, somebody that you can just kind of like have fun with, like be like your sensitive self, like not having to care, not having to be concerned about their feelings in the sense of like you can express what you need and be open and be sensitive, and you know that they can receive it. Somebody you can be, there is an aspect of you that is very innocent, is very sensitive. So somebody that you can express this side of you with. And also I get a specific message with the connect with nature is like, if you like to live in nature, is also somebody that appreciate the same type of I want to say living arrangement that you do, but like maybe you have a bit of a different taste when it comes down to where you would like to live or how you would like to live or the location, or compared to maybe the general masses. So somebody in a sense that kind of like has the same taste as you, so that there is this immediate like, I want to live there, yes, me too, oh my god, that is perfect, you know, that there is this kind of like element of be on the same page with this element, because I feel like a lot of this is connected with the inner child part, where it's like you can be fully yourself. You know, like you don't have to kind of like try to be extra nice to please them, or just kind of like you being you 100% yourself. It's what like the other partner loves and cherish and actually asks more of that. And there is kind of that energy of both of you being extremely authentic and being able to express yourself fully within all these aspect of creativity, sensitivity, inner childlike, and I don't know, I feel like this dreaming together, like this kind of like making dreams for the future, even just, you know, speaking of dreams and just being this magical self with, I'm getting such a beautiful healthy inner child feeling with you in this reading. It's just so lovely, so it's so beautiful. Group number 2. I'm gonna say it one more time. Okay, then we have next sort of like the obstacles or challenges that might block you in your path of love, so what you need to watch out for. We have the 5 of Wands, we have the 10 of Swords, okay, and then we have the healing card. Okay, so I feel like in terms of blockages, what I'm getting, okay, here I'm getting a specific message, of course, to hear if you guys resonate with this. And it's also okay if you don't resonate with everything. As always, please use your intuition and tap into what feels like a yes. But there is an element here that comes through from these cards of you not being too keen when it comes down to conflict. It's not that you only don't look for conflict, but you also kind of like try to refrain from it. Like maybe there is an element of being, I don't know if it's scared of conflict, but just trying to kind of steer clear from it. Because you're such a positive person, because you don't like to make people being upset. But equally is like the ending again is like what we were talking about before of like what you would like in a person. You know, you've struggled with conflict and also bringing things to an end. There is an element in you that it just, maybe because you don't want to upset people, but there is a part of you as well. This comes with the healing card where like you prioritize almost other people, whatever other people need, instead of your own need and healing. And sometimes when something needs to come to an end, you don't really kind of like, you prioritize the other person. So this within a relationship, within love, doesn't necessarily help as well, because if you are with a person or you've been with a person and maybe wasn't meant to be your person for that long, then it's hard for you to maybe detach sooner than other people would. Or it's harder to kind of stand for what you need or feel, because you don't want, unless you feel that the person wants the same thing, you don't want to have that sense of conflict. So there is a part of like your own healing that you miss out on because you prioritize, it's like the people pleasing part. You prioritize not just maybe your partner, but also whether it is family, friends, co-workers, depending on the context. So there is, yes, an element of like having to be okay with having people being upset out of your own choices or out of your own, not wanting to cause the upset, but being okay, being fine if somebody is not happy with your choice, and they will come and tell you about it, and you know, you'll be like, yeah, what to do, you know, it's like, it's my life, I still make my choice, I have to make my choices. So being okay with people confronting you for that, and as well being okay with being honest with yourself and bringing to end things if you feel like they are close to a closure, or like they're already kind of in a sense done. And it's beautiful to wanting that as a support from your partner, or hoping that the person that you're gonna be with or that you're with will support you in the things where you kind of struggle the most. But I think it's also important to find a way to work on it ourselves, so that the other person will just serve as a reminder of that whenever we struggle with something. So yeah, then we have sort of like the immediate future, what comes in the next, sort of like in the next step or the next future within your love life. We have, oh interesting, we have the Hermit. Then we have the King of Wands on reverse. And then we have Flow. Oh, I love that. Okay, so what I'm feeling with this is like, for the ones that were already in a relationship, I feel like there is an element of you that you are secure about your partner. You love them and you know they love you, but there is an element of you having to retreat. To finding like more, you know, what we were just talking about before, to find your own healing within yourself, because it's something that nobody can really fully give you. It's something that you have to work on yourself. So there is an element of like, even if you're taking small breaks where you just kind of like go for a short retreat, where you just kind of really work on your own, building your own leadership, your own power, your own qualities as a leader, and finding your own flow that is just your own and is not necessarily based on your partner or on other people like around you that you don't want to upset or that you want to make happy, whether again it's co-workers or romantic. But there is an element of like, even if it's like, let's say, like if you, for example, you're married and you have a family, just taking like small trips, like starting to take solo trips and having like kind of crafting for yourself this time for you to retreat, even if it's just one day, maybe go actually to yoga retreats or like meditation retreats, so places where you can go inwards and it's just you with your own thoughts and your emotion and just finding the light within yourself on your own without the support of your partner. And equally, if you're single, I feel this is, it's kind of the same thing applies, because there is an element of having to find that the light within. So if you're single, this kind of like solo trips might be longer, actually might be like more extended. There is an element of actually really enjoying as well and cherishing these they will feel like sort of like a present to yourself, like and probably they will be like actual present to yourself of like, okay, I'm actually gonna go that week for the retreat for my own nourishment, for myself, or for tuning into what I need and not being swayed by other people's needs or wants. And I feel like this in both cases, whether you're single or in a relationship with a long-term partner, this is gonna be extremely like beneficial for you, and it's gonna be something that you will really cherish, and it will be like a present to yourself. It has a really beautiful feeling, this retreating. And then we have sort of the long-term outcome with the current pattern. So we have the Ten of Pentacles. Then we have the Magician. In there. And then for some reason with this cards, two cards came. We have the Thorn, protection, boundaries, clear communication. And then we have the Holy Grail, stop the endless searching, inner quest. This is so connected with the Hermit. Okay, so what I'm feeling like, I feel like these cards are extremely positive. I feel like the retreating time is gonna be so beneficial for you. Whether if it's just, again, if you have a family, even if it's just gonna be one day or like even 1 hour a day that you're gonna give yourself, but you're gonna, that time that you're gonna craft for your own is gonna be so beneficial. And so for who is in a relationship, I feel like this is actually gonna allow you to work more on building like a long-term economical stability, like where there is an element of you really kind of creating more boundaries and boundaries around your needs, what you want, what you don't want, like creating a really clear communication. But equally, like kind of understanding that everything that you need is inside you. And even with the Holy Grail, like I don't know if you can see here in the Magician, she holds this cup, which is really the Holy Grail. And I feel like you have been holding and having within yourself the Holy Grail through the whole time. You maybe have just not realizing it yet. And there is an element with you taking this time alone to retreat that you just bring more, like, you kind of get like more understanding how, I don't want to sound like corny, but how great you are as a person and how much skills you have. And that will open up so many more doors as well. Like this specifically speaks to like on work-wise. So if, for example, the partner that we were talking about at the beginning is a business partner, whatever business you have with them is going to benefit so much. If you're married to this person, like your family finances will be getting so much better, because there's gonna be some growth in your finances because of this time alone. And I feel like if you're single, the relationship that is gonna be incredibly important is the one with yourself. Is like you're gonna become like the best partner to yourself, really. I'm getting goosebumps actually when I said that. Like there is an element of you creating the foundation of first like nurturing the relationship with yourself and your own capacity and your own skills and your own heart, and that will leave more space to find, like, I feel like after this, what it really like comes back to is like, you know, open up the space for a soulmate, not just like any relationship. Opening up the space for the, if you believe in the one, or, you know, like believing of the person that you will be, not just any relationship, but a person that you might end up marrying if you believe in marriage, or like a person that you, it's gonna be like an important person in your life romantically. But there is an element of, yes, first kind of like build the relationship with yourself first if you're single. And again, it's like that economical, you know, like building like a sort of a legacy economically, and just long-term money is also going to support, because why not? You know, you're going to have way more freedom, and it just, money is not going to be an issue whatsoever in the picture. So that's really, really beautiful. I'm so excited for you, group number 2. I think like just throughout the reading, I've been getting this feeling of like you being such a wonderful, wonderful human being. So I feel like it's just only right that you get to treat yourself, you know, like you get the time for yourself, you get to enjoy your own company, you know, appreciate your own light, and appreciate your own quality and skills, and that will be translated to the outside world, whether if you have a partner or not yet, in so much more abundance in your life, and in a way better relationship with yourself. So that's beautiful. I hope this reading resonated. You're very welcome to let me know in the comments. And if you like to support me, please subscribe to the channel and also like the video. And I'm hoping to see you in my next one. Bye. Hi Pearl Tree, if you chose this piece of Aventurine, then this is your reading on the next chapter of your love life. Yay! So excited about this one. So I've picked really a lot of cards, and it will probably end up looking messy by the end of it for the amount of cards. So I already apologize for that. If usually it's gonna be like a bomb exploded, but yeah, hopefully the reading itself will be way more clear than that. So I will do my best for that one. Okay, so we're gonna begin with the first set of cards, which is like really representing the current situation or where you are right now within your love life. We have the Princess of Swords. We have then the Four of Pentacles. I'm gonna put on the side. And we have Lyra with confidence, purpose, potential, fulfillment. Okay, so there are different messages. Actually, I'm going to put it here and then I'm going to move that. There are different messages coming in. So I'm going to speak both whether you're single or you're seeing somebody. So in the case you're, in the case you're single, what it comes through is like you might be like one type of person that is very communicative, that is very kind of like it's like somebody that is really a truth seeker, and you're somebody that make your idea happen. You're very idealistic, and there is an element of like people see you as very confident. You might not necessarily see yourself in that way, or you might do, but there is, from outside you project an image of confidence and of somebody that, you know, like you have your purpose, you know, you go for what you want. Like I'm getting actually quite a fiery type of vibe from you in terms of personality. And there is a sense of like, even though, you know, right now we're talking about love, there is an element that you have within you, within your head, you kind of put aside a little bit the love on a conscious level, and you've been kind of focusing more on certain material stability. So whether it is like studying or like achieving sort of financial security and like a long-term security. So you had your main focus in the recent past, but also in the present, in something that is not necessarily love. Like love feels like a default, almost, that it's great if it happens, but there hasn't been this incredible huge focus, or neither within the recent past and in the present, of like, oh, I'm actually gonna make it happen for me. Or your focus has been more on this building this material stability, this financial security, or maybe even studying to kind of arrive there, to build that solidity. And love has been like a sort of a byproduct of life. While if you're seeing somebody, what I'm sensing of this relationship that there is that it might be like, it's not maybe something very solid. It might be more the case of a situationship, or it might be a relationship with somebody younger than you, or even if the age is the same, somebody that is less mature than you are. There is an element of like the person that you've been with right now being like not as emotionally mature, not as, doesn't have the same like, even though the age is relative, because somebody can be even older than you but not be as mature as you are. So whether it is actually in age younger than you are, or somebody less mature, and there is a sense of this relationship not being something, and I feel like you probably already feel it, is not really meant to last for a lifetime. Like it's not even meant to last super duper long. Something a bit more within the present, maybe to have fun, because your focus, there is an element of like your focus, same as for the people that are single, your focus is more on building this emotional building this financial stability and maybe studying or creating this structure, this security for the future. So this is within the present situation. Okay. This is where we're going to start to move cards. Okay, to fit everything in. Then we have the past influences. So how the past influenced you, like, or affected you in your life. We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, we have the Three of Swords. Okay. Intense. And then we have Take the Lead. Wow, okay. So many messages coming through. So I feel like number one, well, okay, it makes sense as well, the card as well of the Four of Pentacles. So let's say if you're quite young and you're still studying, makes sense as well that your focus is more on building like your future. But there is an element of that being the case as well, because there was a really big hurt in the past. There was a huge heartache, and I get a sense that somebody romantically that you were with, and maybe somebody was associated with them, betrayed you. You felt like really betrayed. It was like a really big grief, and your heart is still, in a sense, still now emotionally recovering from it. And equally, like with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, there is this element of being very guarded because of that, and your heart being really guarded, and also putting like a lot of the focus that you used to maybe put into love, put it into work, put it into thinking of creating this structure for yourself, in a sense, like taking the lead of your life, in a sense even of your heart, you know, like of redirecting, kind of focusing more on your head and the logical part and like the structure, instead of like thinking, oh, I'm gonna find another person. There's been this element of like, yeah, mistrust, you know, like, and maybe a little bit of self-sabotage as well within that, because of the lack of trust and the fear of being hurt again. But something did happen in the past in your it might be the very last like the last serious relationship that you were in, but if it wasn't the very last, it's like an important relationship that you had in the past that really yeah, there is a sense of like I said the word before, like being blindsided, and there is a lot of grief around what happened. And I feel like, yeah, being betrayed, that is the word. Like there was a betrayal that happened that involved most likely your ex-partner and another person, or multiple people. But yeah, there is a sense of like quite a lot of emotional pain because of that. You're still carrying a little bit of that, even though your focus has been on the logical front, on the practical aspect of creating that structure. Underneath all of that, there is still this sense of like emotional pain that hasn't fully healed yet. Then we have the like sort of like what you desire within your deeper desire within love and within relationships. And we have the Queen of Swords. So I'm going to put this one here. And we have the Two of Swords. Yeah, there is a lot of this, and it's in the mind. It's in the processing it through the mind. And then we have bare feet, grounding roots. So I feel like in terms of like desires within love, I feel like you really desire somebody honest, somebody that is a leader, somebody that you can trust. The trust feels like a really huge element. Somebody that is fair, somebody that is very clear-headed, and has a very clear direction on like where they want to go in life, what they want to achieve. Somebody that has a clear path. And within that, and equally like somebody that is not gonna have like this one foot in two shoes, you know, like it's gonna, somebody that if they chose you, like there is no doubt, there is no trace of doubt in there, there is no in between, there is no confusion, there is no like, oh, you know, I like you, but maybe I don't know in the future, you know, none of that. There is somebody that is extremely clear that they want you, that they want to be with you, that they don't leave space for any mistrust or any disloyalty or any type of like covering the truth. And I feel like with the grounding and the roots, it's like you know, somebody that gives you this sense of grounding because of that, because there is with the trust that you know that a person can give you, you will feel like more grounded and more rooted within the relationship as well, because you know you can trust what they say. You don't have to doubt it, to question, so your heart can be at peace, and then you can be free to focus on all the things that you are passionate about, your work, and there is no mental and there is no emotional pain coming through because you know you can trust that person. So then we have next what you need in order to feel like fulfilled within a relationship. And we have, very interesting, the Tower. Of course, to see what we got next. Yeah, we have the King of Swords. Okay. And then we have thoughts blossoming into reality. Yeah, I feel like, you know, in some cases you can feel, even in not just in readings, but in real life, that somebody that desires something, their desire doesn't necessarily match their needs. But in some cases they do match them, you know, like, and it's actually a really good sign when their needs match their desire. And I feel like within your needs, it's like there is a really clear need for somebody with this mental, like this fairness, this integrity, this leadership and this authority in a way that is like they're very clear with their communication. They're like a leader. They're like, they own their own word. If they say something, they will do it. And I feel like with the Tower, it's like as well, what you need is somebody that shakes the ground, somebody that rewrite the foundation of what you thought a partnership or relationship was, because of what happened in the past, and the person that, one person or multiple people that hurt you, kind of put so much maybe mistrust or like ideas about love, that there is the need of another person with incredible amount of integrity, incredible amount of like alignment within themselves, of truth, of honesty, to shaking that memory, shaking those beliefs, crumble them down, and in a sense like rebuild like a reality within your perception that is more aligned, that is more true, that is not based on the past hurt. So in a sense, it's like I feel like what you need and what you desire are quite similar, because it's a very clear need due to also what happened in the past, in most likely a previous relationship or more previous relationship. Even if it wasn't a past lover, it could also be like a past, like a family member that really kind of like, with this betrayal that happened in the past, something related to relating. So it can be family, it can be friends. I feel like for many of you, it's probably like a past relationship, but it could, as I said, it could be something that really went down in the wrong way with a family member, with a close friend, somebody you trusted, and somebody you loved, because there was like a lot of emotional pain linked to that. So with this is like needing a person to come in and completely like, almost want to say rewrite reality. So it's somebody that, because you know that you can fully trust them, you know, the word, like they're gonna stick with to what they say, and yeah, they have this clarity, this direction. They're gonna be a leader. You want a leader that stands by what they say and that you can trust and is loyal. Then we have sort of like the obstacles or challenges that might block you from your path to finding love. Interesting. We have the Six of Swords. Then we have the Star. And then we have Temptation. Very interesting. Okay, so I feel like in terms of like obstacles, well, first of all, I feel like with the Six of Swords, one thing that might stop you from building this partnership that you want and you look for is the fact that you're often in transition, or at least in this phase of your life right now, you're transitioning. Either you're moving away from home, or maybe because of work or studies, you move like abroad, or you don't stay too long in one place, but there is like a movement happening, and there is like within your routine and your life, there is not so much clarity where exactly you're gonna be in an amount of time, so that doesn't create the foundation to build this solid partnership. And I feel as well like with the star, there is this element of like maybe there is a part of you that just wishes for things to be different, or wishes for the best outcome, but there is no action taken. It's just like a wish. It's just this kind of like hope, but because your focus is more towards other aspect of your life, like you're following more the path maybe of like creating this financial security, so kind of like prioritizing maybe work or study, even with the move and everything that you go through, this doesn't really, at this point in time, doesn't support, of course, finding this person that you would like to manifest. Doesn't mean that it's not going to happen in the future. It just means that right now, this focus on the practicality of what you want to manifest, they just kind of stand in a sense a little bit in the way of that. And sometimes it's the necessary thing that we need to do in order to first create solidity for ourselves, like in terms of like work or economical stability. So it's not necessarily a negative thing if that's connected to that, but yeah, it's just like a product of the choices that you may be making. And I get as well interesting information with temptation, that if like in the past, the thing that kind of was at the cause of the betrayal was somebody that kind of cheated, there is an element of the aspect of cheating that is more now present within how you live relationship. Whether if it's you that you now more drawn to cheat because it's like it was done to you, so then you like sorry for the cough, you feel like more like, okay, you know, this is how a relationship works, so this is what I'm gonna do, you know, to my next partner. But there is an element of either you being fearful of that happening again, so to fully open and to fully give your heart to somebody and for that to happen again, or even for you to kind of like being the one that this time does the betrayal, because you're like, well, you know, this is how it works, that's how we're gonna so there is an element of that present. And I feel as well for who is in a relationship, the element of applied in the same way, like the obstacles is like it's kind of the same whether you, in this case, you're single or you're like in this kind of sort of situationship or light relationship. This kind of applies in exactly the same way. And then we have sort of like the immediate future. So what's gonna come in the near future within the love life. Oh, okay. Then we have the Magician. I'm already liking this. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, we have the Hierophant. Wow, you guys, pile number 3. That is pretty cool. And then we have Bend Like a River. Okay, wow. Okay, so for I'm really excited about this. For who is single, I feel like there is a person coming in your life. This is in the near future. That is the whole package. I'm getting like a vibe. Maybe somebody that is even a little bit too full of themselves, being honest, because it's somebody that can be quite accomplished in what they do or in their work, somebody that has an incredible amount of skills, somebody very powerful, very charismatic, somebody that a lot of people follow what this person says. It's like he has influence. He has a lot of influence on a lot of people, whether because some people like, you know, like whether because it's like has some level of I don't want to say famous, but somebody that is known in their circle, somebody that is really respected in their circle, somebody that I kind of get a sense as well, like this is a very specific, somebody with a quite a bit of an ego, you know, I keep getting the sense of somebody a bit full of themselves, but that from outside this person is the whole package, is a freaking whole package, whether it's the actual the reality of when you're with a person actually feels like you win the lottery or not, that is a different story, because the ego can play this dynamic where you're like, yeah, you're super duper great, but sometimes when a person is too great and they know they're very great, it's like it's all about them, you know, there is a lot of sense of like it's about them, but they're like they are truly like quite a spectacular personality in person, somebody that worked a lot on themselves, as I said, very like a powerful person, and they're gonna come in like in your life in the near future, and it's like this type of person is not the type of person you can manage. So like you will need to in a sense bend like a river with, you know, like everything that you do, like adapt. You will need, there is an element of you needing to adapt to this person, because they're not the type of person that kind of blends in the background. It's the type of person when it kind of enters your life, it's gonna kind of like shake things around. So it's not the type of person that goes unnoticed either. And I feel like for the people that are in a relationship or in that situationship, once this person shows up, either the temptation is gonna be huge, because they are very attractive in multiple ways. They're like a person that you're like, oh, I really would like to be with them, or you're definitely gonna end whatever situationship that you had previously or in the present, and you just kind of let yourself get to know this new person, because I feel like it, you know, the person is gonna come in the near future is one of a kind, you know, that's the that yeah. And it could also have the potential of this long-term relationship, because there is all the leadership that you want here, and also I feel like somebody has really good morals and values, so they fit in with this sense of honesty, and somebody that speaks their word, you know, and they stick to it. I feel like this person will have that. They might have a huge ego, but they will definitely be somebody you can trust. And then we have finally, with the last three cards, the sort of the long-term outcome. So the potential long-term outcome if the current if let's say the current pattern that we have now continues. We have the Moon. Then we have the Knight of Cups. And we have Whispers of the Mother Earth. Creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. Wow. Okay, so I'm getting for these very different messages. So again, just tap into your intuition to see what it feels like apply the most to you. But I feel like, okay, I'm gonna show you close up this Moon card, which I think is really beautiful. But also you can see that depicts a person that kind of walks away, and there is an element of, with the Moon card, of like becoming aware of deeper truths. And I feel like for some of you, some of the being with this person that will show up in your life, because it's so charismatic, because there is so much potential in this, and is the closest person, like is the person that is closest to what you had in the past, but they make you kind of like really move your heartstrings. There is an element of the hurt from the past that happened with whoever betrayed you that will come to the surface. So there is an element of hidden truths of coming out, whether from getting to know more information what happened in the past, and I get a sense of like fully finding closure with that emotionally, but as well like just more emotional processing that comes from that, because there is an element, as I was saying at the beginning, that hasn't really fully entirely healed. There is a process that is still sort of pending. So with this moon card, I feel like a lot of that will come to the surface, and you will have the capacity to be able to look at it and to heal it. And for this, you might be taking some time off, or sometimes apart from the person that you started to see, because there is the need of like processing all of those emotions. And equally, like, there is as well an element of, because of that work that you'll be doing inside, there is an element of more romance coming in, because that will open up for things to be more, like, for you to be more trusting again, for you to have your heart more open. So now you can come from a place of like generally being excited about this new partnership and this new connection that you have with this person that has the potential to be a long-term partner for sure. And as well, like, I feel like with the Whisper of Mother's Earth, I feel like there is an element of connecting more with nature, but as well with your own nature. So opening more of your heart and allowing, not just from a romantic standpoint, connecting with this person, but as well connecting with yourself, with your own channel of art. Can be creativity, can be writing, can be painting, but there is something in you that opens more once you kind of process this earth that was present in the past, and opens you more to express yourself. So you find so much more joy and creativity and just enjoyment, like in expressing your own channel. So for some of you, as I said, it could be painting. For some of you, it can be writing, like journaling. For some of you, like if you're a singer, you like have some musical qualities, will be singing, but something that it will channel this creativity in the way that suits you. It's just a channel that gets open once you kind of, your heart opens more and your heart heals. So there is this incredible potential for this relationship or this partnership, this connection that is going to come in with this person that has the potential to bring a lot of healing. And I feel like for some of you, you'll definitely continue a relationship with this person. For some of you, you might just step away from that, but still get the benefit of the healing, and then look for another person that is maybe not as triggering, because the person that you will end up meeting, because they're so charismatic and because they are such a leader, they're very, very strong. And you might feel at one point is like, this is too much for me, like on a daily basis. But this will be just for some of you. For others, it will be like, no, this is my person. Like I'm not gonna find another person like this again. So I'm just gonna stay. You will just take process and time apart, but you will not end the connection. Yeah, so this feels like very complete as a reading. Please let me know if this resonated. If it didn't, I'm really curious to hear your experience. And if you'd like to support me, please subscribe to my channel as well as liking this video. It will be super appreciated. And I'm hoping you have a beautiful day or night, wherever you are. And I'm hope to see you in my next video. Bye!